Hey, welcome back. So it's actually been an amazing day at work today. I just thought I'd shoot a little video in this car because I don't know if I can get it to where y'all can see the writing on the window. It says check brakes, and that's legit. But it also says radio broken. I don't know. Looks like it's working to me. But as I've said before, in a lot of modern cars, it's really ridiculous how convoluted it can be to turn on the radio. So it wouldn't surprise me if somebody couldn't figure out how to turn on the radio in this car that rented it. But the fact that they went their entire trip thinking that the radio was broken and then reported when they turned in their car, radio broken, that's hysterical to me. Which reminds me, I had one maybe about 2 weeks ago that I brought up, and it said screen doesn't work. And I sat in the car and I turned on the radio because it helps me with clarity of thought. My racing thoughts and all the noise in my head goes away substantially once I have music on in the car. And so I've learned, just out of kind of necessity for my sanity, how to turn on and get music working in pretty much every single type of car that we rent. Every now and then I get something random that I haven't driven before, and I don't know what to do with it. You know, like the Maserati a few weeks ago. I just tolerated the mediocre country music in that one. But yeah, it said screen didn't work, and I sat down in it, and the screen was blank, which is not an unusual thing in a Jeep. Speaking of Jeeps, hey, look, this one's a Jeep too, so it might have been the same thing. Jeeps are a Chrysler Plymouth product, and a lot of the other Chrysler vehicles, and I guess Plymouth really isn't a thing anymore, but Chrysler and Dodge, a lot of those vehicles will have the same thing, where the screen has been turned off. You can turn off, which I think is a good thing. Sometimes you just want to drive and you don't want the visual distraction. Oh, God damn it. This is the second time I pulled up to this stack of hats. Second time I pulled up to this stack of hats to see that there's no... All right, I turned on the parking brake for no damn reason. To see that there's no pink hats there. Oh. Somebody in this car must have been wearing some sort of perfume or cologne that is not doing good things to me. I'm really sensitive to that sort of stuff. Colognes and perfumes. And yeah, I wasn't sneezing before I got in this Jeep. I got pink hats out here. I just got to remember not to stop over there because there's no pink hats. Usually I'm pretty good at remembering like what area is out of what color. Anyway, yeah, I moved that. God, why the fuck does it keep turning on the parking brake? Oh, really? Yeah, some of these cars have the safety feature where it'll engage the parking brake and it won't release it until you put on your seatbelt, which to me is irritating as fuck. Hello, my body, my choice. What if I'm in imminent danger and need to fucking move and don't have time to buckle up my seatbelt? And that's the difference between me getting robbed and not getting robbed. I'm just waiting until the day something like that happens and the person who gets robbed sues the shit out of an American or any vehicle manufacturer for putting this so-called safety feature in. Like, the safety feature that needs to be there is already there. It's the seatbelt. If somebody chooses not to use it, that's their choice. Respect it. Anyway, I hate that shit. And yeah, I use a seatbelt 99% of the time at work. But the movement, that slow movement I did in the parking lot between where I got the hat and right here, I need a fucking seatbelt for that. It's a pain in my ass. Anyway, obviously the radio works. I'm just going to scratch that off the window because it's just silly. But yeah, the other one, I couldn't just scratch because it still needs to have the brakes checked. But the other one that I moved that it said the screen didn't work on, all I had to do was hit the button, the power button, right there. See? When you hit the power button, the screen goes blank. It turns it off. And then you hit the power button, and it turns it right back on. It's not rocket science. But, yeah, somebody ran the car and returned it and said, oh, the screen is broken. In fact, I think they might have exchanged for a different vehicle because they couldn't figure out how to use the damn power button right there. But, yeah, I got in the thing. First thing I did is hit the buttons. Screen came right on. And I just marked it. Marked the screen. Screen worked fine. The date and screen works fine. Figured somebody's still got to look at it and do a report in the system on it before I can put it back out. But anyway, I don't listen to this blues channel very often. Playing some pretty cool stuff on it today. Anyway, there was something else I wanted to mention. Oh, yeah. I'll mention that later. I need to get back to work. But I had quite the talk with Carter, who is the big boss today. And I'll talk about that later. So as I was saying, I had another Carter moment earlier. I've got kind of an interesting workflow. And sometimes I kind of have to make my shit up as I go. But right now they've got the kick-out line, also known as the north side dirty line, overflowing where it should be. So I've been one car at a time as I kind of do my loop, pulling them from here and moving them to the main south side dirty line. And that accomplishes two things. One, it's getting them out of the spot that they're sitting in where they shouldn't be. And two, it's getting it to a place where it's good for dirty cars to be lined up, because for all points and purposes at this point, this is just a dirty car. The car wash needs to wash and then get ready to be put out to rent. And the third thing it accomplishes is it gets me closer to the cars that I'm using to take upstairs to get me to the other areas. Because once again, I'm working alone. I won't park it back here. Usually I try to get it in the most forward place I can get, but I'll put it back here. I got an overabundance of cars right now in the dollar line, so I'm trying to find a PC vehicle, but my last two attempts to find a vehicle, a PC, just resulted in me getting stuff that all I could do was take it to the flip ramp. Once I'm seated in the car and I've adjusted the seat and I've got it started and I'm seeing what the odometer says, I'm just moving it. It doesn't make sense for me to get out of it and not move it. And that's fine. There's plenty of stuff that needs to come down from the Hertz line as well. But the main thing I'm working on is trying to get those recalled Ford Explorers moved over. And the only efficient way I've found of getting myself there, since I don't have anybody I'm working with, is to take electric cars over that way that need to go on the charger. So I'm doing those as well. Anyway, I'll explain the conversation that I had with Carter, which resulted... I was already on my way to have a conversation with Barry, but it kind of changed the direction of the conversation I had with Barry, and it was pretty interesting. Wow, somebody just came up behind me fast. All right, I'm in a Honda Accord right now. These are comfortable cars. So since I parked the last car, and I forget what the heck it was just something I was moving from the north side kickout line to the south side dirty line to get it where it belongs, because it wasn't actually in the north side. God, the fan is too much. It wasn't in the north side dirty line, but it was actually facing the wrong way where the chipped windshields go. And I know at some point I'm going to need to put chipped windshields there, so I'm trying to get that cleared out until, for when the time comes where I have chipped windshields, I need to put them somewhere. Speaking of chipped windshields, I'm driving one with a cracked windshield. It's a Honda, I think I mentioned it's a Honda Accord. So anyway, we got out of the last vehicle I was moving, and it was not really relevant what it was. It was just moving a dirty car from a place it doesn't belong to a place it does belong, and getting myself closer to a clean. So the clean I grabbed was a Nissan, I can't remember, it was a Sentra or an Altima. Whatever it was, it's the one that had the safety recall that happened last week that was such a big deal. And I could probably touch base with Barry again to find out what the hell's going on with those, because last week, anything that was that particular model of Nissan got put aside, and they all got held, and I was told there was safety recall, we got no fix for it. But now I see them coming in and we're just putting them right back out. So it's possible that somebody decided that safety recall wasn't a problem and lifted it without it needing a fix. I mean, it seems a little sketch to me, but stranger things have happened, especially when it comes to motor vehicles and what the authorities think is and is not safe. The issue that I have is that if that recall has been lifted and we're putting Nissan Sentras back out, why we still got this entire line, or Nissan Maximas. Why we got this entire line? Well, we got one car sitting by itself, that blue one, and we got a space here. There's a story behind that space, and maybe I'll get to it. And then we got this whole line of Sentras that I made. I did that. Yes, I did. Because they needed to go somewhere. And instead of them just batch blocking other places, I just lined them all up there. Most of them are marked with a safety hold, and they also say no fix on them. Well, if it's been determined those are fine to go just the way they are, then why are we still sitting on those? Why aren't those getting the windows scraped and getting put out to rent? I mean, either we're holding them for a safety recall or we're not. What's going on right now seems crazy to me. Anyway, I'm way in the back where the broken windshields go, because this Honda has, as you can see, big old crack in the windshield. And walking towards the gatekeeper. My next move will be to pull. Gotta make sure that the headlight is on auto. And sometimes I turn it to off, and it's hard to tell whether I turned it from off to on or whether I turned it from off to auto. So I always gotta kind of make sure of that. What the hell? There's some metal back there. It's weird. Stepped on some piece of metal. I heard it, but turning around, I don't see it. So these were all the new windshields I put in. Walked through here yesterday vlogging, and I don't see any pop trunks. There was one pop trunk back here when I got here at the start of my shift, but I've already long since moved that. And that white Polestar on the left, you might remember that one. That's the one that was absolutely disgustingly dirty inside that I pulled some change out of. So yeah, that one's still there, and it pulled forward right where I put it. I don't know if the ones behind it. No, it's this one. Say, do not service, stop PM. All right, you get an orange hat. Grab a couple more orange hats since they popped off the pile. There's one of those Fords. And it has nothing marked on it, so I'm climbing it later. What's this? Oh, it's a Polestar. Volume knob not working. I bet the volume knob's working just fine, and whoever was driving the vehicle couldn't figure out how to operate it. I'm willing to bet money on that. And of course, I'm back. Grab a pink hat from the pile where no pink hats are. Let's get in the Polestar. See if there's really a problem with the volume knob, or just the renter was too stupid to figure out how to use it, and a Hertz employee was too stupid to get in and check it. We got 62% on the Polestar. Oh man, I hate it when the howler comes on. Just the sound of a fan. I don't understand how neurotypical people aren't bothered by that. That God, it just gets in my head and I can't even cope with it. Well, yeah, I would say it's legitimately. Oops, I turned to the wrong radio. Oh well. Yeah, volume knob is not working all right. I was gonna say the volume's good, but see, I'm getting it in the view. Yeah, I'm spinning it and it's not changing the volume. You know, I think there's a way to do it with the buttons on the steering wheel, but I don't know what they are. Anyway, this is legit. It's got a problem, so. Sometimes the problems that are on the windows are real, but a lot of times when I see stuff like volume knob doesn't work, screen doesn't work, radio doesn't work. I'm just like, yeah, does it not work, or were y'all just too damn dumb to turn it on? This is the case where it doesn't work. It's at a pleasant level though. I love driving these. If there was anything I could do to get a job high paying enough to buy one of these and commute long distances in it, I just, well, not long distances, because it only has about a 250 mile range, but you know what I'm saying. I would love to be driving one of these every day as a commuting vehicle. But I know none of the forklift operator jobs that I have, while they pay higher than this, pay enough for me to buy a vehicle like this. So I'd rather stay here where I'm close to home. I rearranged the pink cats a little bit, so I think I got some room to put it further up. Yes, I do. My pink cat lion is getting kind of big though. And there's those Fords I'm working on moving. Now every time I get in one of these, I always crack that window so it doesn't get insanely hot inside. And the other thing I do, because a lot of the EV people just, you know, you can train somebody what to do, but you can't make them give a fuck. So a lot of people take shortcuts. So even though I'm not servicing this as an EV, I'm still going to go to it and go to charge. Okay, I make sure it's set. There we go. Make sure it's set at 90%. And then I always go to here, more, power off, and power off. To make sure that it's off and it doesn't lose any more charge than it has to. All right, so I'm trying to get some more of these Fords. They're far away, and I'm trying to get a car taken to the PC, because I know they're kind of overflowing with the maintenance line at Dollar. Yeah, I end up at the flip ramp. The Dollar line is just too goddamn far to walk away from, especially when every time I get to the flip ramp, I can see vehicles. So yeah, here's the problem I got going on. To the right of that trash can there is the kick out dirty line. That vehicle there, can't move it. You see it's flipped up, no key. I'm the one who went to move it, realized I had no key. Flipped it up, marked it, something else I can do. Plus somebody finds the key, it could be there for a while until they call the key truck. But yeah, this whole area here, it's got cars facing towards the car wash, as if it's the kick out line, is actually where the chipped windshields, and then the ones that need the tinting removed. That's a thing. That's a thing. I don't know if I've talked about that on my blog. It's amazing some of the shit that people will do to a rental car. It's like, come on, dude, that's not your fucking car. But one of them that always blows my mind when they do it is this one came on immediately to KWSS HD. Guaranteed I drove this one to get whatever maintenance that got done on it, because nobody else even knows how to tune in KWSS HD, I don't think. God, I love KWSS HD. So yeah, people will tint the goddamn windows, and if they tint the back windows and do a good job on it, Hertz just leaves that shit on there. That just became a feature. Thank you. But we get idiots that tint the front windows, which I think is illegal. At least it is past a certain darkness. And then we get idiots that tint the windshield, which is very illegal. And then the real kicker is we get people that do an absolutely shitty job of tinting the windows. I had one I moved. I just moved it to the wall, to the maintenance line from the return area, in the Hertz return area. But yeah, it was marked for tint, and somebody had like the tint was in it, and it was all bubbly, and it was just. I mean, it was on the front window, so it needed to be scraped off anyway. But worse than that, like the stuff on the back windows needed to go because it was all bubbly and done like shit. All right, I got this move. I still need to get to $1, so hopefully I can find a vehicle that's going to PC, so that'll get me close to $1. And I picked out a Mazda 3 that was right adjacent to where I parked that last vehicle, the one that, now I forget what kind of vehicle it was. It was either a Kia. I could tell from the stereo screen it was either a Kia or it was a Hyundai. I like the way they do their radios. Yeah, I just went to the Mazda 3. It was most directly adjacent to it, but this thing's got over 49,000 miles on it, so definitely not within the realm of PC, so I'm just taking it to the flip lane. They change what they want in, like, this should either go to 3 or it should go to gold, but they keep changing their minds on what they want where, and it's just too burdensome for me to try to keep up on what's going on with that. So flip lane it is. I have seen somebody that seems to be just on foot moving cars from the flip lane to stalls, so he can get this, put it wherever they really need it, and I can just go get another maintenance car that's over on the Hertz side, since I'm on the Hertz side and not the dollar side. And this car, this Mazda 3, the Mazda 3 stereos are crazy awkward to mess with, because that's what the screens look like. Oh. Now I want to show it, but it's just so difficult with just using the selfie camera to get on it. But anyway, the screen, like, I think it's touchscreen, but they're not very touch sensitive. And then it's got this weird wheel with buttons around it and a different knob, and they're just super difficult and awkward to tune. I don't usually listen to 95.5 FM The Mountain. Their slogans crack me up. They're like, we play everything. I have a long list of the stuff that I like that you guys don't play. You guys play mostly bland stuff, but it's not awful stuff. All right, so as I was saying, that Mazda, I distinctly remember driving it up because it's so difficult to get it on any kind of music radio, and I managed to get it onto the mountain. So I'm like, yeah, that's good enough. So if you look behind me, you can see a row of maintenance cars, and there's level 2. I'm not sure, I think that's Enterprise checkout line down there. I'm really trying to get over to $1. $1's overflowing, and this is an interesting route that I've found. Ooh, this is a 25-cent bonus. This is a 20. I was gonna try going down those stairs to see if I could use that walkway there and somehow get to $1 that way, but I just found a stray cart, and when I return one of these stray carts, I'm able to get it out of the way, but it's a 25-cent bonus for me. And frankly, I could use the 25 cents. So